For 3 centuries, the ocean hid billions, not lost, untouchable. When it was finally found, recovery didn't bring riches. It triggered a war. Gold raised from the depths, billions locked away, and a treasure so valuable it may never be claimed. More than 300 years ago, a fortune disappeared beneath the Caribbean Sea. Not a shipment, not a vault, an empire's wealth swallowed whole by the ocean. Today, resting in complete darkness, lies what many call the most valuable shipwreck ever found, the San José Galleon. A wreck estimated at up to $20 billion in gold, silver, and emeralds, a number so large it borders on the unreal. They call it the Holy Grail of shipwrecks. What makes the San José different is not just its value, but its status. The wreck is known, its location confirmed, the technology to reach it exists, and yet no one can touch it. On a single night in the early 1700s, the ocean witnessed the collapse of unimaginable wealth. The San José sailed heavy, dangerously heavy, carrying gold, silver, and emeralds extracted from an empire stretched thin by war. Below deck, the weight of treasure alone was enough to strain the ship's wooden spine. Then came the attack. Cannons thundered across black water. Fire tore through sails. Explosions ripped into the hull. In minutes, chaos replaced control. Men screamed. Orders vanished in smoke. And then, silence. The galleon broke apart and vanished beneath the waves, taking with it an empire's fortune and hundreds of lives. By dawn, the sea was calm again. The gold was gone, and the legend was born. The San José did not vanish from memory. It sank into obsession. For centuries, its name moved quietly through maps, archives, and whispered accounts. Sailors marked rough coordinates. Empires searched in secret. Treasure hunters chased rumors that always ended in empty water. As time passed, the value grew. What was once measured in royal shipments became modern billions. Inflation turned history into a fortune beyond imagination. The wreck was never proven, never seen, only believed. And in the darkness of the Caribbean, the ocean kept its silence, guarding a prize that grew more valuable with every passing year. For centuries, the San José was a rumor without proof. Maps contradicted each other. Coordinates drifted. The ocean erased mistakes without mercy. That changed when search stopped being romantic and became scientific. Historians rebuilt the final voyage from archives and battle reports. Oceanographers modeled currents that could carry a sinking galleon for miles. Every variable was tested, every assumption challenged. Modern sonar replaced guesswork. Autonomous vehicles scanned the seabed in silence, mapping darkness no human had ever seen. Then, a pattern appeared. Not treasure, not gold. Cannons, scattered in a formation only a warship could leave behind. The wreck was real, but discovery brought no celebration, because finding it was not the victory, it was the warning. The San José was found far beyond the reach of divers. Not deep, extreme. More than half a mile below the surface, pressure multiplied until steel bent and light vanished completely. Temperatures hovered near freezing. Every movement risked collapse. At that depth, human presence was impossible. Traditional salvage meant destruction. One careless touch could scatter artifacts worth billions or erase history forever. The wreck itself had become fragile. Centuries underwater had turned wood to paper, iron to rust. The treasure rested inside a structure that could not survive force. Recovery was no longer about access. It was about restraint. Because the deeper the wreck lay, the clearer the truth became. Reaching it was easy. Bringing anything back would test the absolute limits of human technology. Finding the San Jose did not unlock the treasure. It changed the rules. At that depth, recovery could not be rushed. Grappling hooks and dredges became threats. The wreck was fragile. The treasure priceless. One mistake could scatter history across the seabed forever. Recovery became surgical. Custom-built robotic systems were designed not to grab, but to observe. High-definition cameras mapped the wreck inch by inch. Lasers measured distance. Sensors tracked pressure and vibration in real time. Only then did recovery begin. Sediment was cleared grain by grain. Robotic brushes moved slower than a human hand. Hours of work revealed only inches of progress. Then the first object emerged. Not gold, not treasure, a cannon. Heavy and corroded, it proved the wreck could be touched without collapsing. Each lift raised the stakes. If iron survived, what else remained? Dives lasted longer than a full workday. Machines operated on the edge of failure, suspended by cables worth millions. Weather above could halt everything below. Costs exploded. Weeks became months. Months became years. But patience paid off. Containers emerged. Cargo shapes formed beneath centuries of silt. The ocean was giving up its hold. And one truth became unavoidable. The value below was far greater than anyone had dared to estimate. This was no longer recovery. It was the most delicate extraction ever attempted, with billions balanced on every decision. Recovery did not slow the cost, it multiplied it. Every descent burned money. Specialized vessels consumed millions before the first cable even touched the water. Robotic systems cost more than private jets and operated one failure away from total loss. Each dive risked equipment worth tens of millions of dollars. One snapped cable, one power surge, one unexpected current. At this depth, there were no second chances. Then the treasure began to surface. Coins appeared first, not scattered, but stacked, preserved by darkness and pressure. Silver bars followed, then gold, not symbolic pieces, but industrial-scale wealth. Every recovery confirmed the same reality. Estimates had been wrong. What historians once measured in millions had quietly become billions. Operations stretched into years. Weather halted progress. Legal restrictions froze dives mid-season. Crews waited while equipment sat idle, costing hundreds of thousands per day. And still, the work continued. Because stopping meant leaving $20 billion behind. By now, this was no longer a salvage mission. It was the most expensive, most controlled, and most contested recovery operation ever attempted. And the deeper they went, the clearer it became. The ocean had not given up its greatest prize yet. The moment the value became undeniable, recovery stopped being technical. It became political. What lay on the seabed was no longer measured in artifacts, but in tens of billions of dollars, more than annual budgets, more than entire industries. The ocean was holding wealth powerful enough to rewrite ownership itself. Governments asserted claims, courts froze operations, international laws were reinterpreted in real time. Every recovered coin intensified the fight above the surface. Ships waited. Crews stood down. Equipment sat idle while legal arguments multiplied faster than recovery ever had. Each delay added millions in losses. Each pause raised the treasure's value even higher. Inflation, rarity, and scale pushed estimates beyond reason. What had once been priceless now had numbers, and those numbers kept growing. The wreck hadn't moved, but the battle around
Your
it had.
interpretation is
And while
entirely
humans
too broad.
argued, billions remained untouched, locked in darkness, waiting to see who would be allowed to take them. Recovery resumed, but victory did not. Operations continued under strict limitations. Every object raised from the seabed was documented, sealed, and stored. Nothing moved to market. Nothing generated profit. Billions in recovered wealth existed only on paper. Gold was counted, not spent. Silver was cataloged, not claimed. Each lift added value without releasing it. The paradox grew heavier with every dive. The most valuable shipwreck ever recovered had become a treasure no one could touch. Below the surface, the ocean still held more. Above it, human systems refused to decide. This was no longer a race for treasure. It was a stalemate measured in billions of dollars. And the final question remained unanswered. Was this recovery or the most expensive pause in history? Large sections of the wreck remain untouched, sealed beneath centuries of sediment. Unknown containers still lie buried, never scanned, never opened. As technology advances faster than law, estimates continue to rise, climbing into unimaginable billions. The ocean hasn't given up everything. The greatest fortune may still be waiting below. The San José is no longer just a shipwreck. It has become a symbol of wealth measured in billions and history that cannot be priced. Power argues, laws delay, the ocean waits. Recovery continues without closure, leaving one question behind. Was this ever about gold, or about who gets to decide the past?